that? Did you go through my phone?
So I did.
You know what your problem is?
I ain't got no problem, my Don't tell me.
Don't do that.
Love and Hip Hop, Season 12. Atlanta had been full of drama, unexpected twists, and heated fights, but episode 15 was a whole different story. Kendra Robinson, Joe's wife, was brilliantly highlighted as her tale developed in a manner that fans hadn't witnessed in a long time. Kendra revealed to the audience a whole new side of herself in this episode, one that was resilient, strong, and unflinching. At the beginning of the episode, Kendra had never had an easier relationship with Joe and seemed to be going through a particularly difficult time in her marriage. Despite innumerable rumors, Kendra had been Joe's rock, supporting him through his highs and lows and handling his career and public persona with grace. The pair had experienced many hardships over the years, including Jacques' turbulent extramarital affairs, but Kendra had stayed faithful despite all of the highs and lows that came with being married to a famous person. Despite his prior transgressions and the stress of balancing a family life with an entertainment career, it appears like things have gotten out of control in this episode. Jay's charisma, flirting, and love of drama have made him a well-known character in the hip-hop and romance industries for a long time, because viewers have witnessed him in a number of unstable relationships over the years. It is hard to overlook his commitment concerns. But even when it seemed like everyone was questioning him, Kendra had always stood by him, behaving like a devoted wife. The public viewed things much different, despite Jacques' devotion. Kendra, a woman who was getting tired of Jacques' antics, started to put herself first for the first time in years after weeks of emotional turmoil and silence between her and Jacques. It all started with what appeared to be a wake-up call for Kendra, who was seen gathering with friends at a local cafe to discuss her marriage, her issues, and, most importantly, her growing discontent. Kendra had always been the more rational one in their relationship, but this experience seemed to be the tipping point for her. Because of Jacques' actions, his lack of dedication, and the increasing unrest in his industry, Kendra was worried about her future. Given that Jacques seemed more preoccupied with the drama surrounding him than with the security of their home, it was obvious that she had grown tired of Ken and the strain of their marriage alone. However, amidst these irritations, an unexpected event occurred. Kendra immediately clicked with this new man, and there was a tangible passion to their moment together that surprised onlookers. He was kind, attentive, and more sensitive to Kendra's emotional needs than Jacques had been in recent months. It was good to see Kendra's vulnerability as this conversation revealed a long-hidden part of her.
I'm going to freeze my eggs, so when it's over with, I have some younger eggs for the next I'm dealing with. That's how I felt. At this point, she said, let her do what she want to do. So I said, do what you want to do. I'm going to do what I want to do. So,
What do you mean?
I'm doing what I want to do.
You can't do what you want to do, because the last time you did what you want to do, you stepped out on Kendra and had a baby.
It feel like to me, she already made a decision for herself, for me, and our future. And, here I am. It's kind of like, do I go to prove her right and do my thing? When I already know how she feels, she already telling me what it is what it is, man. I'm like, whatever. You gonna say, you gonna do what you want to do, I'm do what I want to do.
Jack, this is your wife. Maybe she's just hurt. You can't not care because...
But Gianna wasn't here when she said, I don't want to have kids with you. Nobody was here. I wasn't cheating with none of that. I was busting my ass to make sure I was providing for my family, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So whatever.
That's a lot. I've never seen Jack like this before, so clearly
The friction between Kendra's past relationship with Jacques and her current relationship with this new man developed into an emotional battle throughout the show. She had devoted a great deal of effort to attempting to make her marriage to Jacques work, despite the constant emotional upheaval. But now this new man reminded her of what it was like to be respected and acknowledged. Although Kendra had always been devoted to her husband and family, she started to wonder if it was still worth the emotional toll to stay with Jacques now that she might be able to pursue another option. For the first time in a long time, Kendra understood that she could base her choices on her own happiness rather than just her relationship, and the idea of beginning anew with someone who truly cared about her well-being felt alluring. As the program went on, Joss realized that the storms of his personal and professional lives were starting to pass and became conscious of how Kendra, the person he had previously relied on, was changing. When Jock attempted to rekindle the flame that had once been between them, his normally assured demeanor appeared to falter, but he encountered opposition. She could see how Kendra had changed since they first met. She was changing from the calm, understanding wife who put up with Jock's behavior to a more assertive, unrepentant version of herself who wanted the attention and dedication she was due. In this episode, a confrontation between Jock and Kendra appeared inevitable as Jock attempted to mend their relationship. It was difficult for Kendra to determine whether to remain married. She felt emotionally spent by that. Would she relax and come up with something else? Jock's frustration was evident as he attempted to justify his behavior, but Kendra was no longer buying it. As the facade of their beautiful relationship broke down, the issues that had been there all along were exposed. Instead of her marriage ending right away, Kendra's meeting with the new man marked a significant change in her perspective. She was taking charge of her life, realizing her value, and realizing that her happiness could not depend on the actions or shortcomings of other people. She wasn't going to wait for Jock to change, and she wasn't afraid to prioritize herself anymore. Kendra was still unsure about her next course of action when the program came to a close. Others questioned whether this was true because of the attachment she had with the new man. Would signify the end of her marriage to Joss. Kendra Robinson's emotional journey in this episode was about empowerment and accepting that she could follow her own path, no matter where it led, and it went beyond simply a new romance. Her journey included hip-hop and love. The story of Atlanta's characters had a significant shift in Season 12, Episode 15. She was evolving into a woman who respected herself and didn't hesitate to take charge of her own life, going beyond simply being a supportive wife. The event set in motion a new chapter in her life that would test her identity, her marriage, and her relationships with Jock and the outside world. It was a tale of personal development and the challenging decisions that accompany accepting a new start and letting go of the past.
Because him not wanting to go has made me very suspicious.
Look, you deserve the absolute truth.
I thought I already had the truth.
Just listen to me. When me and you first met, you know what I'm saying? There were moments where our relationship overlapped hardly in my interaction. You gotta think, you and I was just friends for a long time.
The fact that you just now telling me.
After weeks of emotional turmoil and silence between her and Jock, Kendra was seen gathering with friends at a local cafe to discuss her marriage, her issues, and, most importantly, her growing discontent. This situation felt like a wake-up call for Kendra, who was becoming wary of Jock's antics and was starting to prioritize herself for the first time in years. Although Kendra was typically more sensible, it appeared that Jock's actions had worn her out. Because of his unwillingness to fully commit and the ongoing turmoil around his job, Kendra was unsure of her future and desired to define herself independently. Association with the Jock in the midst of these disappointments, she had obviously become weary of bearing the burden of their marriage alone, particularly when it seemed that Jock was more focused on the drama surrounding him than the stability of his family. Something unexpected happened. The obvious chemistry that formed between Kendra and this new man shocked the audience. He was kind, attentive, and more sensitive to Kendra's emotional needs than Jockey had been in recent months. It was good to see Kendra's vulnerability as this conversation revealed a long-hidden part of her.
So I know that you know. I'm just saying. But she not coming into my house. You deal with that. Them your old ass, sad, sorry ass bones. You deal with that. I don't have to. You lucky I'm doing this much. That's the blessing.
Was making it look like it was more than what it was. You should have reached out. I'm not a bitch off the street.
Well, it's not
You've gotten money with my family. Yeah, but I was getting money with him before you came along.
It doesn't
before
matter.
You married him. You still owed me a conversation, girl. You've been in my house.
But she
She said, I don't owe anybody anything. You do. You owe me an explanation when you all up in my explanation.